All right, we are very fortunate in this next segment of our Leon Live with Innovative to have with us Stephanie Larsen and Shelly Crutchfield, who you all know. But this segment, we're really going to dive into Stephanie's, mind of the designer here. And Shelly, I'm going to let you do a quick introduction of Stephanie before we jump in.
Okay, I met Stephanie a few years ago, actually walking a project in Sedona, one of her beautiful projects. And I was kind of struck by her enthusiasm for really embracing technology. It doesn't go away. You have to have it in your home. And instead of fighting it, she embraces it and wants to know everything she can about everything that's available to her as a designer to make her designs beautiful without distraction. So I thought she was a perfect person to have on today for our Leon Live because she really kind of gets it. She also understands when working with one of our integrators that she really wants to lead the specification part of it, which I think is embraced very often by the people who are, working with designers.
Awesome. Thanks, Shelly. Stephanie, welcome. It's good to have you today.
Thank you so much. I'm so excited to be here.
Awesome. Well, tell us a little bit about you. I've been on your site and learning about your projects and learning a lot more about your business. Maybe tell us, how did you get started doing all this stuff that you do?
Oh my gosh. Well, that goes a few years back. And, interior design has been a labor of love. And, I loved decorating my room when I was in high school. And, I was college bound and my dad said to me, what do you love doing? Forget about the money. If you could just sit here and tell me, what are your favorite things to do? And I knew immediately it was changing my room, painting the walls, finding cool posters. And that was just what I loved. And he was an educator and he said to me, well, why don't we look into interior design schools? And it was the perfect fit. We researched all of them. I went to one of the top 5 in the nation in Denver, Colorado, and it was amazing. It was what I loved. And I still, never tire of this industry. I absolutely love what I do. And he was so right. And I'm so glad I had that guidance at a young age.
That is smart. Now, how is somebody from Denver dealing with life in Arizona?
Well,
do you go back and forth?
No, to be honest, I was an Air Force brat. I lived 9 states in 11 years. I've lived all over, including Iceland and Minot, North Dakota is where I graduated high school. So I love Sedona. Sedona's home. I've been here for 24 years. My son was born and raised here. He's 19 and, it's a great place to live. It's definitely home.
Oh, super. That's awesome. Well, I want to jump in right away to the question that we've been focusing on throughout our session today, which is, Noah, our founder, talks a lot about the intersection of art and audio and design and tech and business in Bohemia. It's like there's this intersection of things. How do you approach the blending of technology with traditional design elements? Because tech is kind of like foreign. It's just has come into the scene, right?
Right. Well, you know what? Tech is so important. I kind of found myself even like a couple of years ago, some of my clients knew more about tech than I did. And I really didn't like that. And, I want to be the expert that they've hired and the forefront of design and technology in everything we're doing. And, smart homes are not going away. They're becoming smarter. And, we have to stay on top of that. And the beauty and the aesthetics of the home is what people walk into. They want that wow factor. Look at this incredible home. Look at the furniture. Look at the focal points. And, that's where we need to marry technology and interior design. We don't want them to walk into a home and say, look at that 90-inch TV on the wall. We want them to just be in awe of the beauty of the space. And we want technology to be integrated into the home and seamlessly disappear, but, at your fingertips. Lighting can, work with your circadian rhythm. You can have it be the sunrise or the sunset, as Shelly, has taught me. And, all of that is so important. And just, putting all of that into a home, the touch of a button, your window coverings close and open, your TVs can display artwork instead of the football game, when you want that dinner party and that ambiance, you know, and
Yeah.
we want to have it all.
I love it. I love how you describe that. So Shelly, I love the call out there. It's like, so how you have been a teacher, you know, like guiding through this, you know, Shelly, you've talked to us about this a lot as well. You know, how would you respond to kind of Stephanie's setup there of the challenge and the opportunity?
You know, it's interesting because the technology world, I mean, it's fairly new to me. 5 years ago, I joined Innovative, and I love beautiful things and beautiful places. And I, like Stephanie, lived many, many places, as you know, with the Air Force situation. And so, you know, we have a lot of similar ideas and similar backgrounds. And I'm fascinated by design. And I was really struck by how she kind of, you know, embraces all. She's got a very open attitude about everything. And so as I was learning technology, I had met her and I was kind of learning alongside of her. I mean, it was Lutron that introduced us initially. And then as we opened our experience center, one of the first people I had in was Stephanie, because I'm like, you're going to want to see all this stuff. And she loved it. I mean, whether it's theater seating or lighting or beautiful Leon, you know, everything. We've got, you know, acoustical artwork. We've got, you know, you've seen the place. So
Love it. Love it.
It's so that any beautiful space that has technology in it can be in the background, but also working for you. And so as I'm learning, I'm trying to teach the design community, you know, that's what we're here for as reps. We're here to just educate and learn. And then our integrators work hand in hand with designers.
It's a unique model, and I think it's so relevant. So Stephanie, I'm going to go back to you with this question. As a designer, what's the most important, you know, one or two considerations when you're looking at a residential space? You talked about, you know, lines, colors, materials, forms, not 98-inch foreign objects, you know, on walls. You know, what do you think about? You walk into a space, you're initiating a design. What's top of mind?
Well, top of my mind is making sure I integrate exactly what the client wants, you know, and that's so important. You know, how do they live? What do they want? Do they have kids? Do they have dogs? Do they love sports? Do they meditate? You know, and, you know, that to me is most important. But whatever their design style is, it's that, you know, that common thread that flows through every single room in the house. I want to be able to pick up a chair in a guest room and pull it into the living room, and it still kind of goes, you know, and just that seamless, you know, integration of everything in every space.
Yeah, I love the idea of seamless integration. And you described the personalization aspect of understanding the client, you know, and having a dialogue. I think a lot of people on this Leon Live today think, how do I introduce an idea to you that you're open and like eager to hear without coming across as I'm trying to like sell you something else? You know, that's a big concern for a lot of commercial integrator or custom integration partners out there.
Well, I really think it's about educating. I mean, yeah, you might want to try to sell me something, but isn't that what we are all doing? And that's like beside the fact. What is best for the client? What is best for the project? How can this home still be incredible in 20 years from now? You know, and that's, I think, with the lighting technology, the smart home, the, you know, the Leon beautiful TVs, you know, we start that now and we open that conversation now. So it's not like they have some dated home in 10 or 20 years from now.
We had an experience when we were in Las Vegas at a trade event last week where one of our customers, Lucasfilms ILM, came up to us and said, we entrusted Leon with some of our most precious artwork, which is on display in our space. And it was early sketch renders of like C-3PO and like all of their stuff that is on display. And they use Leon media lifts to conceal the TVs because the art is more important. But it isn't that like the ultimate reflection of personalized space, you know, and in their case, it was a commercial example, but, you know, not losing sight of the art. You know, I think that's the part that people are afraid to talk about sometimes.
No, exactly. And, you know, I just recently completed a mid-century modern remodel. We completely gutted the home. There was actually orange shag carpet still sticking out that you could see underneath the 2x4s. And, we gutted the entire space. These clients, Shelley's met them, really budget wasn't an issue. They wanted it to look amazing. They wanted to keep the integrity of the space. And, I reimagined the whole home. We changed the kitchen, made rooms bigger, all the things to down to every single pillow, every throw. It was so beautiful. And I render, it's another thing I think is important. I render my projects in an incredible rendering program that my team uses. And we show art on the walls, TVs on the walls, so they know exactly what it looks like. Well, that's kind of how I realized this TV was sticking out like a sore thumb in this beautiful space we had just designed. And I said, and I remembered I saw this incredible walnut TV frame at Shelley's place, and it was like the perfect thing. So I brought my client over there and he loved it. We rendered that TV and it made the space. I mean, it really did. It was a small living room, and that kind of was just another piece of art on the wall instead of sticking out like a sore thumb.
That is a great story. I love that. We never know, all the time where these things actually go. And that's a perfect description of like the ultimate kind of project situation there. So, I'm going to maybe rapid fire to you or Shelley on this next question. We talked about art and retaining kind of that artful look in space. What's got you excited into the future? You talked about lighting, circadian. You talked about, elements of design with technology. Is there a new technology beyond those things that are exciting to you, like really big TVs, like these video walls and things like that? What's got you excited?
Me personally?
Sure.
What has me most excited are these incredible lifts. So my two biggest projects right now are in Sedona, and we are using this incredible lift system where the technology goes back into the wall and up. And so the panel is completely flush with the built-in. You wouldn't even know there was a TV behind it. Nothing sits proud. It's this beautiful rift cut white oak built-in with a long linear fireplace underneath, and beautiful lacquer shelving on the side with glass doors, and everything is integrated so beautifully and so flush. That's what's exciting to me, seeing the room and not necessarily the technology or the TV, but it's there. So, it's usable, but it's still beautiful when you're entertaining and things like that. Just another side note too, I was listening to Pam Jaccarino, the editor of Lux Magazine. There's a new editor now, but when she was speaking about this a few months ago, one thing they look for in projects is that they don't want to see TVs. So so interesting, in photographs. So I think it's really important that we kind of seamlessly integrate technology and beauty in a room.
All right, we need that link. That's awesome. Pam Jaccarino, I took that note down, and I want to absolutely see that. Shelley, what's your thought?
I was thinking about that because there's so much that I'm confronted with because we have so many lines as a multi-line rep firm. But your new sound sconce, I haven't even had a chance really to talk to Stephanie about it. But the thought of having a sconce that is also a speaker that is also beautiful is I think a really important new thing.
Yeah, I agree. I think we got into the sound sconce business, and I'll pop a picture of it up here for you, Stephanie. We got into the sound sconce business by design, like quite literally. There was a design firm in Calgary, Canada. They were they had a unique business where they actually did commission builds for their customers, and they co-designed, really guided us in the design of a product that they specify. And it is a speaker inside of a sconce, a lighting sconce. Wow. And it is called the Leon Sound Sconce. And I will, you know what? I'll make sure that I send it to you right after we're done here.
Okay.
So
Not a shameless plug, but I really do think I am
yeah,
excited. And I love the designers who designed it. They're awesome, and Stephanie would love them.
yeah.
Good to see.
So Stephanie, that's the kind of thing. That's how we think about design. Is like we want to follow your vision. You know, we want to work with more closely with designers like yourself. You know, as you're in creating these inspiring spaces. It's remarkable. So as we come to a close here, this has been a very insightful conversation. Um, we've got a great article read to follow up on. And Stephanie is in Sedona. You can check her out on her website. Great information there. As a token of our appreciation, Stephanie, we are going to send you a pair of Mara sound sconces for your new property. And we would love to have them incorporated into your space.
Wow. Thank
Yeah.
you.
How about that?
I'll take lots of pictures. They'll be beautiful and disappear.
Awesome. Thank you so much for taking time with us today. Super insightful. And I know for people listening in, you know, really aligning and getting a better understanding of how to work with our design partners. That's what we're trying to do.
Thank you so much. It's been a true pleasure.